Welcome to the webinar. I'm Beth Elliott, your trainer. If I want to include more information and to do a subject grade, I can come in under School, edit course sections, and it's going to give me the same information I had under the skills area. So there's my course code, my section code, the section name, beginning and ending periods, how many are enrolled, the room, and the teacher. But I have other information I can work with also. Part of that is the days of what days of the week does this course meet. So on some of this, for this particular art teacher, they only meet on Thursdays, not the other days of the week. And the default here of MTWRF is our days are limited to one character, so I needed a way to differentiate between Tuesdays and Thursdays, so ours are for Thursdays. You can set a maximum of how many is the total number you want in this class before the system tells you that it's overloaded. As I scroll right, I'm also going to see information on the semester, which the first part is the length of the course. Is it a year-long or an individual trimester? Most of your courses are year-long. But as I continue right, I'm also going to be able to put in the grade plan. And what the grade plan is the grade plan says which grades do I want to associate with this course. The year plan that I'm hearing, YRP for year plan, includes my trimester grades, a potential of a midterm, a final exam, and a final average. Other courses, when I come down into my primary grades or the kindergarten courses, I'm going to see that, oh, I have a different grade plan. I have a grade plan called YRT, and this is trimesters only. So I'm not using a midterm grade, I'm not using a final exam or a final average, I'm just using trimester grades. So just trimester 1, 2, and 3. So rather than need to worrying about those other grades, I'm not even going to put them out there for them. And it's as easy as that to change which ones we're working with. You can have as many different courses or sections as you need. We're going to go ahead and save and exit. To set up those grade groups, you would do that going under Grades, More Grade Editing Jobs, and you would edit the grade schemes. First part of the grade schemes are the actual storage bins, which is which grades you're going to use. The display order is the order you're going to see the grades in. So in here we can see that I have a term 1 grade, a midterm average, a term 2 and term 3 grade, a final exam, and a final average. All of these have it where you can enter a grade for that particular marking period. And the individual term grades also have the ability to have comments. We can add a comment for, say, final average to make it available if a teacher of the math class wanted to add a comment that indicates that, oh, that math class is actually the algebra class, or my world language is actually Spanish, if I wanted to get into the specifics. Gives me that ability to put it in. We've set it up so that there is a teacher note available for the subject grades for each of the trimesters. The second part of this is the grade assignment weighting plans, and because I made a change here, as I go over to the grade assignment weighting plans, it's going to ask me, do I want to save those changes, and I'm going to say yes. This is actually two different tables, but they're related very closely because for each of the grade plans that I'm going to put in here, I'm using the grade bins from the prior tab. It's usually easier to see some of this if I go ahead and print it. And that just gives me the ability, I'm just going to do the grade plan, to see it in a more vertical area rather than horizontal. So if I look at my 3 different grade plans here, and I start with the bottom one, my trimester one is going to have the 3 trimesters, and they're each worth a third of the credit of the class if I was working with that. The YRP has the trimester grades, also a midterm, and the exam and the final average. Where the 4th one, the 3rd grade plan here, does not have the midterm on it. And that's all. We're just taking a quick look. So what that does is as we go across, that's where they're at. I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. Now some of these are set up that the trimester grade is included in GPA. And that's up to you whether you want to see that or not, if you were going to actually compute a GPA. Right now it's only associated with the trimester with the mid-year average at the moment, and that's because that would be your 4th to 8th grade where you might want to do a GPA. Elementary, the kindergarten and primary, you probably don't need to worry about that at all. So I'm going to go ahead and save and exit. So this gives you a way to work with it. And one other thing before I get out of here is under grade reporting. Actually, there'll be 2 things. Under grades, more grade editing jobs, there's the edit the valid grade list. We have set up 2 different grade lists. One is your A, B, C, D, F. What that does is as I scroll down is when I look at my numeric grades, I'm going to have letter grade equivalents. So it knows when do I shift from, say at a 93, that's going to be an A, and a 92 grade is a B. So it lets me know how do I shift from one grade to the next. The other grade group that we're working with is an API grade group. The difference is here is as I come to the bottom is to go from a proficient to an exceeds expectations is my breakpoint is a lot higher. So the ABC going from a B to an A was between 92 and 93. To go between proficient and exceeds is between 98 and 99. So you can set different grade points as what you need. To set the labels for the grade groups, that was done under admin, the database configuration. That same screen I went to set the skills-based also had the labels in it. So it gives me that ability to put those in. Under grades, if I want to go back into the valid grade list for just a moment, you also had your asterisk grades. That gives you the ability as a teacher to be able to change the grade of, say, if the student had a B, but they had that B with accommodations, is I can change the B grade to a B asterisk to show that indication. And if I'm going to put that asterisk in, there are also comments that give me the ability to specify what accommodation was made. I'm going to exit out of here, and under grades, more grade editing jobs, is if I go down to edit the report card comments, I'm going to be able to see the first group of comments are the ones for the elementary school. So all the 200 scores are my elementary comments. These are the general ones that the student follows directions. They express his ideas clearly and persuasively. As I scroll down, we're going to get in some ones where they need to be able to, something that they need to work with, such as they did not complete their homework. But as I continue down, so the 200s are the positive, the 300s are where they need work. So I scroll down and start getting into my letter grades. This is where I can see, oh, I have B's, F's, and so on. This is the ones that have to do with the B's are for behavior. So different ones are, these are the accommodations that were made for the student. And between the numeric comments and the accommodations is I can put up to 4 comments to any one trimester. I can also, on my math classes, indicate whether they're algebra or geometry. And I can also at the bottom indicate whether it is Spanish or not. Again, you can go to your printer to print this, the yellow plus to add. I haven't touched on it, but the red X would give me the ability to delete a code if I don't want to use it. These are the diocese-wide codes. So I'm going to go ahead and save and exit out of here. So that's the basic setup to get in the information that you need to set up the skills. The next part that we will go over in another session is how to give the students their schedules so that they can work with the classes. So thank you for participating, and we welcome you to another session.